Hello, and welcome back to another run of Cross Blitz. Playing another daily today. And today we have a Wick daily. So Wick, it's a 7 with base cost 10 mana that gets cheaper for every card of a different color you play. Note that another faction means a faction different from the one you start with, not different from the faction Wick belongs to. Ambush Brigade, add a Brigade Trap to your opponent's deck, which is a card that summons certain minions for you once the enemy draws it. Double Cross, which is a very nice removal spell. Brigade Cadet, just a 1/1 that adds a Brigade Trap, just like this, but as a minion. Take a look at the leaderboards real quick. Okay, so we've got about 30k currently. Yeah, let's see if we can work that up a bit. And our ultimate is once we play 10 cards from other factions, we summon a bunch of stuff. Yeah. Personally, I think that the yellow faction is currently the weakest one in general. So in most cases, I want to rely on whatever secondary mercenary we pick up. Our modifiers are your neutral minions cost 1 less, so also very nice alternative to the yellow minions. Just pick as many neutral cards as you can. Pinch price max, it says can only select one price card from each faction. It's a little bit inaccurate, or to be more specific, outdated. I think this used to mean that back when you had like a selection of 3 cards and you could pick up to 3 copies, you could only pick one, but now you have these card bundles, and what this modifier actually does is that whenever you pick up a bundle, you cannot remove any cards from it. And starting health per step, which that doesn't really do that much, but appreciate it nonetheless. Right, let's go over relic bans. So yesterday I banned the Title Mask to unban the Brilliant Elixir. I will ban the Brilliant Elixir again, since we are likely to have any sort of some sort of minion-based deck. I will also unban the Cursed Pearl, because we don't know if we're gonna see any pirate minions, so I'd rather ban some kind of common or neutral relic. And I think I will use that to ban the title bans once again, which is draw 10 cards at the beginning of battle and then don't draw any more cards. And I think I'm fine with that. I might also unban Bilge Bombs. The reason why I have so many pirate-related relics banned is because the day before yesterday there was a Admiral Brass, a pirate day. But yeah, I will instead, let's see, anything else I don't like that much? Any sort of neutral relic? Let's ban Morpor Bell. It makes your spells cheaper, but you damage yourself when you play them. Actually kind of like this relic, but not very good for dailies where you want to preserve your health, not take any damage, in fact. And then for the trinket bans, I think I'm just gonna return to banning Lifesteal, just because it's kind of hard to use a card that's that costs 2 mana more, even if it has Lifesteal. And I always ban those 3 trinkets. And I think I'm fine with that selection. Yeah. Right, so let's start. I think there's a good chance that fight 1 will go flawless, just because we have the 1/1 minions and brigade traps can summon more minions to the board, but we will definitely not be able to get any overkill. Well, +10 overkill, at least. So, same map as yesterday and the day before that. Interesting. So, we do have the frog on the map. Do we have a puzzle fight? We do not have a puzzle fight, so if we want to get the Thorns lifesteal combo, we would have to bank on getting the relic for lifesteal over here, which is pretty late, so probably not going to do that much at that point. Other than that, do have an elite fight here. Okay, yeah, let's just go into the first fight. So, this one's pretty easy as fight 1. This one has some hot slimes, which deals direct damage to your hero, so it can mess up your combo multiplier, which means I'm going to go to the Bramble Whelp. Alright, yeah, I like keeping a double cross and a brigade cadet. I'm gonna dig for more brigade cadets. We start. I think I'm just gonna add a brigade trap. Not place my 1-cost minion, just so I can block anything that the opponent throws at us. Unfortunately, we do not get a second brigade cadet, so that means we will take some damage. I guess theoretically it's possible to do 10 overkill if you get Wick activated somehow. Those brigade traps can generate cards from other factions, or you can just wait for the 10 mana. I think I might actually try to do that now that we will lose out on the flawless. And actually we get lucky and the brigade traps exactly blocks the space we needed to block. And now I can block either of those two and then kill the other one with a double cross. Let's do that. Don't think it matters which one we block. We might need to kill this one if we just so that we can get Wick out. We are fine for now. With the brigade tabs, it might actually be hard to stall the fight. So now we kind of have to decide, do we want to try to stall and get both the overkill modifier and the perfect modifier, or do we just take the guaranteed perfect modifier now? I think I will stall, because if I stall, I am guaranteed to get the perfect. I still have some removal in hand. Although we only have 2 more turns before we take fatigue damage. So we would have to get another discount on Wick. No, actually even that wouldn't be enough, because then he can't attack on the turn we play him, and yeah, so then we would lose out on both possible modifiers, so I'll just take the perfect. Right, we're at ×2. Keep in mind, neutral cards are better, and that means that this neutral pack is very enticing. Has a cheap card, like a middle card and a top end. Gale Wind Knight is a very good finisher, especially when you want to get that big overkill damage. You know, it deals 60 damage. Smithy gives us some sustain to protect our flawless condition. We do have some spells we can add more. Smithy gives us armor equal to spell costs, so Ambush Brigade would give us 1 armor, Double Cross would give us 2 armor. And yeah, Sprout Guardian is also decent tanky card. And yeah, just pick that. So let's see what Tavern has to offer. We get Nelby, which is like a death focus deck. Like you get these Kendos that have Hothead, so that they can immediately die, and then they can also get Relentless to die twice. Then this will draw us cards whenever minions die, and then this will scale up based on minions dying, and this will get a buff once 3 minions die, and then once you have it on the field, it also benefits from minions dying. So I think the reason why it's considered a like a difficulty 1 pairing for our deck is because we have that Death Rattle card, so we're kind of leaning into death focused cards anyway. We also have Lustra Starscale again. We also have the Katana deck. I do not like the Katana deck for the dailies. The Katana is attack an enemy minion and deal 1 damage. When it says attack an enemy, it means basically that your hero is attacking, so your hero is also taking return damage from whatever it is that it is attacking. Which means that it's kind of difficult to preserve your health. Like we do have the Smithy, which can give us some armor to protect ourselves, but we're not guaranteed to have the Smithy on the board, and if the enemy has more than 1 power, then we are still losing out. So I'm not gonna pick Sen. It's kind of interesting that all 3 of those decks are considered compatible with Wick. I mean, I guess Wick does actually pair very well with any type of deck, just because it's kind of his thing. Play another deck to make that cheaper. So Lustra Starscale would give us some lifesteal, which would be very nice. But I'm also looking at Nilmi just because we have 2 neutral minions in that package. And I think that might just outweigh the benefit of getting Starscale lifesteal. Because the groupies and hoopers might be useless if we don't build specifically around them. Of course, the downside to picking all these neutral minions is that they don't actually count as other factions for the purposes of reducing the cost of Wick. But we also don't really need to rely on Wick if we can play the Gale Knight instead. Okay, they are kind of very similar. Both high power dual strike cards, so I think I'm fine with taking Nomi here. And then I think we do want to get to this event node for the extra fight. It's kind of a tough fight, so we might not be able to get any extra combo out of it, but I think it's still worth trying. So for our relic, we have white belts. When a brawler minion dies, give another brawler minion +1 power. So this would be a brawler minion that could buff up either the Nilmi or the contender. We have dual blades. Minions that cost 2 or less have dual strike. So this would affect the Kendo. This would affect the Smithy and Suki. If we get a mana reduction, it could also affect Nilmi, which would be pretty strong. And with Soul Spark, add a Spark Essence to your hand if you don't have one. Very interesting relic. Spark Essence can re-trigger plate effects. Do we have any of those? We have this, I guess, but this plate effect doesn't really matter. Give friendly minions in this column dual strike. Don't often use that effect because you just place it somewhere and then it's already strong enough to kill. And then if you do give a minion dual strike, then you can only really make use of that spark distance if that minion dies and you replay that minion that will have summoning sickness again. And yeah, that's just at that point just make Gale the Wind Knight win the game. So nothing that benefits from Sparked Essence, and not exactly likely to get cards that do. Like a lot of the Nilmi cards are gonna have focus. And yeah, I don't think that yellow has a lot of played effects that we are interested in. Like golems do, but not the brigade deck. This could screw up certain turns when we are trying to get overkill. Like if something unexpectedly dies and then we accidentally have lethal. So I'm kind of not a big fan of any of those. I'd much rather see something like a Necro Hammer, which gives us armor whenever minions die, because the Kendos like to die a lot. And yeah, we do get the Necro Hammer, but we also get the Sly Gloves. Sly Gloves could also turn out to be very strong. We already saw that relic 2 days ago. But yeah, just remove the yellow cards and then get cheap neutral minions and cheap blue minions. But Necro Hammer is also here. It's a tough choice. I think that the blue deck benefits a lot from Sly Gloves because you have card generators, like cards that generate extra Kendos, for example, and usually you play that and then you have to wait till next turn to play the Kendos. But if we get the card generator reduced, then we have the mana left over to play the Kendos. And we just try to pick up sustain from somewhere else, like get more smithies. It is makes smithy a bit worse because cheaper spells means less armor. I think I'm gonna go with Necro Hammer, just because we only have one sustain card in here, and it only works preventatively. Doesn't have lifesteal, so it can't get us health back that we already lost. And both blue and yellow don't really have a lot of lifesteal cards. And we're also some ways off of a shop to get Gyric or something. And we've had a Sly Gloves run recently, so tried something new. If we want to get to the extra fight, we have to fight Fidget. And let's... Yeah, so he's gonna add some bombs into our deck, but because we fight him early, it's very likely that he blows himself up. So alternatively, we can fight the Himhouse Spirit. That one might also be hard to avoid taking damage, just because he has flying minions. However, our Kandos can kill the Himhouse Spirits immediately. We would see a shop, which always has pretty good cards. But I think I'm still gonna go to Fidget, just because we get the event fight. So we should not expect to get the big overkill in this fight, just because he can blow himself up. But yeah, I like this hand. Just keep a lot of 1/1s to block any potential lane. It does not play any minions. Guess I play a Brigade Cadet. See whether something happens. So he's gonna destroy all minions on his next turn. So again, I don't want to play anything. Feels kind of wasteful to not play any cards, but again, just it's not really worth it. We do get a Brigade Trap. We also get a Fidget. I'm gonna kill that Fidget so that we get some damage through. I'm also gonna plop down a Smithy. Alright. And we do get unlucky. We immediately draw the bomb, so no more flawless for us. We are pretty close to getting the Wind Knight down. So we might be able to get the overkill. Right now we are doing 5-6 damage next turn. Okay, he blocks our minions. That's actually good, because don't want him to die. And I think I'm just gonna end my turn. And oh, that's yeah, he adds more bombs to his deck, which means how much damage is he taking? Like, it's gonna be 8 from the bombs, and then it's gonna be 1 from fatigue. I don't know if the fatigue will still trigger, but I think it will. So And we're also doing 2 over here. Will not get better than 2, actually. So yeah, kind of unfortunate. Even if we were able to remove our own minions, the bombs just kill them. And we were very close from getting the 10 overkill, actually. Just 1 damage short. Okay, so we have silence, gain hothead, give something barrier. We have more neutral minions, and we also have some more like bandit cards. Like the whole idea around Wick is stealing cards. Like Ransack gives you cards from your opponent. Doesn't actually steal them, just copies them and swipe as sort of a discover, just card generation. And stab and grab is some removal. That's fine, but I do prefer just picking up the neutral pack here. Soldier Rogue, 2/2 for 1 mana because of our modifier. Deal 1 damage, so we can just kill some small minion. This is just some nice big damage, 3 mana, 6 damage. Kill a big minion or make it easier to overkill. And Seafaring Ape, just buff some other minions. And go to the event, and actually I forgot, we cannot attack the bandits because we do not have the right modifier for it. I was kind of just used to yesterday's run where events didn't have any modifier requirements. I don't think that any of the tavern minions we saw had aggressive as a trait. But yeah, I should have gone to the shop instead, I suppose. But we can at least get 100 gold. And then for campfire, I will just burn either Brigade Cadet or Ambush Brigade. Because for our 1-drops, I really just want to have the Kandos or some of the neutral minions. Ambush Brigade is weaker than Brigade Cadet, I'd say, because this adds a Brigade Trap and is a minion, and this just adds a Brigade Trap. But this has more copies, so I think... And right now it can also generate a smithy, so I think I'm gonna start by removing the Brigade Cadets. Then Cursed Wisp. Likely not gonna get away with the flawless in this fight. Just because can spawn a lot of minions at once that we're not gonna be able to block. So without a board clear, I think I'm gonna keep Salty Rogue. I'm gonna keep Double Cross. Okay, Smithy is a good card to start with. Gives us the ability to gain armor with Double Cross. We have enough in hand, so I don't need to be stingy with them. Yeah, and this is what I mean. Just gonna spawn a bunch of crap. We can kill up to 3 of those, so Double Cross has like sort of an X shape, it targets. And I'll leave both of these alive, because the smithy is gonna take care of those. I can block one more with the salty rogue. And the salty rogue can also kill one of those. So, yeah, and he dies because he dealt too much damage to himself. So, not a fight we can get overkill in, but thanks to Smithy, we were able to preserve our HP. And since we've defeated an elite, we will get card rewards with trinkets on them. We got Rush, Tough, and alternatively we have a Bartender Cell, which gives us a bunch of spells, 2 of which are sustain spells, and another one gives us thorns, and then we have another sustain minion. So if we just want to keep a health, this is the choice. I do like those modifiers. Rupert with Tough. Tough is always a good pickup for scaling minions, and Rupert scales by killing enemy minions. So if you kill like a 1-drop with it, it doesn't take any damage in return. It will be a 3/3. Still not the best scaling card out there, but it's alright. And Rush. Well, this one is also interesting because we can get that card from Brigade traps, and the summoned cards will have the buff of the base card. But I think I like just going for even more sustain. And again, those are all neutral minions, so they will be even cheaper. Like a 2 mana 4/4. That's just pretty good. So now it's either a relic or an event. The event is going to give us the Thorns relic. +4 thorns, and then another one that makes thorns permanent. We can put this on the Bartender Cell actually. Make it an 8/4 for 2 mana. Now I kind of regret not picking up the dual blades. How expensive would that be? So the epic trinket would cost 130, and then another common one would cost 140, so 270 gold. We do have enough. We would just be kind of poor going into the shop. We'd also have the summon a Thorny Boy that we could put on an uncommon one. We could put the Thorns combo on something like Nilmi as well, that would be cheaper, and could put it on Gale Wind Knight. Have a 12 dual strike. And also just spread out some trinkets for the fresh fortification bonus. I think I like that. And then we can give the Thorns barrier to Tsuki would be an interesting option. Just give us some basically a blocker to protect that card and keep her alive longer, but also immediately give her fodder to trigger the friendly minion death effect. Similar logic for Nilmi. Protect against enemy attacks and also give her a extra summon to trigger her on death effect. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna buff the Wind Knight. Huh, this is an extra fight, actually. We would only get one trinket though. I don't know if I actually ever did that fight, so just for science I want to see what kind of cards it has. I'm not sure I will be able to get the any combo multiplier out of this fight, but we will just try. Oh, it's a bunch of Thorns cards, I see. Well, let's add a Brigade Trap. Get a Bramble Whelp. I think I will take damage and then play a hard hero within the next couple of turns. Because I kind of want to play the Kendo after I've played the Contender to scale up the Contender. So right now I'm taking 4. Can I avoid 2 extra damage? I suppose I can, but I would have to play the Kendo. But yeah, let's try preserving our health again. Okay, we get this midi, that's good. We can get some extra armor. We can... Gonna keep the hard hero, so I can play the Contender. Because of the Thorns, the hard mage is gonna immediately die, so that will buff our Contender. Saw does not actually attack, so we'll just leave that thing. Alone. And yeah, I can get some armor. Oh. I actually should have played it on the Bramblesaur, I guess. I didn't realize the smithy would be pushed up against the Bramblesaur, which means that the smithy dies anyway. Which also would have happened if I played the Fizzwhirl on the Bramblesaur, but it's okay. Now we have a bunch of armor. So I can play Gale Wind Knight, deal 12 damage this turn. Then I have a removal spell and a movement spell for next turn to keep the way open for Gale Wind Knight. So we should get overkill and no damage taken as a bonus. He does get extra armor and thorns, but our minions don't actually die to thorns. I guess I should have played the Gale Knight in front of the contender and buff the contender, because we can still buff the contender with Kendos, but actually we shouldn't buff the contender because he will heal back with the thorns and lifesteal. So instead I can play a Pyro Bowl, get him down to 3. And we will get out of this fight with some big overkill. And actually, because of the Thorns, contender will get in 1 more damage. So, 3 trinket. Now the +4 Thorns isn't really that enticing anymore, because we can't combine it with the Barbed Spear. Question is, do I want a watering can instead? I think I do like the idea of protecting an Suzuki and giving more opportunities to draw, so the +4 Thorns could give us some lifesteal later on, but still a ways off until we see that relic, and we're not even guaranteed to see it. There's an event that can give us the Thorns lifesteal relic, but it has more than 3 options that it can show us, so. Now we see a card shop, and yeah, we have a buff to all kinds of spells. We don't deal any spell damage yet. The blue deck has some pyro damage, but Wild Aces is really nice because it's a 1 cost and it's just already very nice, even without the discount. I will pick up a Wretch as well. It can permanently buff some of our cards. Not really interested in those. I might be interested in those. So we have Grimpkin. I will pick Bullet Fist, give us some more removal and potentially some more Kendos. I will skip the Grimclaw, we already have some good top end on our side. Grimkin might be nice because it gives us 2 potential triggers for the Necro Hammer. And yeah, I think that's it. So we are fighting Magitech Scholar, which is a trap deck. Kind of like this start. We have a very good 2 cost that can give us some very early armor. We can play the Wretch. Buff something. Might want to think about replacing the Sprout Guardian. I think I'll do that. I will keep the removal in hand. We draw an Ambush Brigade, so... but I think before the enemy has any chance to play a trap card and nullify our bartender cell, I will just play him right away. Get some armor going. So let's see. Let's give ourselves 2 armor. Play an ambush brigade. We get a hidden trap. Let's see if we can... Actually, I don't want to kill it. So we do succeed with our spell. So this is not a magic diffuser. Could be rockets. It's not rockets. Alright, so as it stands, the Golemancer will kill a bartender cell. And Magitech Scholar would just die as well. So I think I'll actually just end my turn right here. Oh, didn't realize. Yeah. Should have played the fist well, I guess. Let's check for a Clucky Beam. We do get Cluckied. And then... Golemancer is actually kind of annoying. Please don't draw the Heart Mage. Wild Ace is also a card I would have preferred to have played this battle, but I just want to draw the Heart Mage and get a health back. Let's see if we get Cluckied. We do get Cluckied. So now let's play the Wretch. +1 power on Kendo is very good. In fact, let's just immediately play it. Do we get rockets? Yeah. We do see some rockets. But now we can... Huh. Why is that not... Does it only apply to minions? Not really I said, but... Oh. Mana Diffuser is unfortunate, but we still get the armor from playing it.
So I guess let's just get some armor. Just get off another trap. Let's check for Lucky Beam. It's not Lucky Beam. I'm kind of just waiting for our region to show up. And then we can play the Gale Wind Knight. And end this fight. So because of that, I don't want to play any minions. Instead, let's check for a mana diffuser. It's not a mana diffuser, so we can play our removal. Great, we get rid of the rockets as well. Still not seeing the hard mage. Let's check for mana diffusal. Then check for Clucky. Get some more armor. Play some removal. Kind of tricky because I don't want to have the salty rogue accidentally kill the enemy. We only have one card that could remove the salty rogue for us. I guess we can take a couple of hits from the trap technician. Very interesting visual block also. Now let's give ourselves 2 more turns where we can wait for the hard mage. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's why I don't like brigade traps. Guess I shouldn't have played that card. So let's just get our ultimate, I guess. Kind of misplayed that fight, but fine. We get either Ransacked Rupert with instant draw or Ransacked Rupert with instant draw. But I really like this Nightcap Nibble and Dreadspout Recruit. Dreadspout Recruit is a very nice block card, can kill some very big and scary minions, and this can steal some big and scary minions. Then I don't actually know if we can get the extra fight from the poison guy. I think the modifier for that is Adventurous, which we don't have. So I think instead I'm going to path towards the elite fight. dual strike. And double stats. So I think I'm gonna pick up double stats on our Gale Wind Knight. Make this a 16/16 for 8. We can make something cheaper. And we can give dual strike probably to like the Sprout Guardian. I think the mana reduction I'm gonna put on Rich. Just to make it easier to play that card, so we can play it for 3. Could put Dual Strike on Bartender Cell. Two mana and 4 times 2. But I think I want to get the fresh fortifications, so I'll get it on the Sprout Guardian. Then I'll take the campfire and remove the ambush brigade. We will see one more trinket shop before the elite. We can either have trinkets and then a campfire, or campfire and then trinkets. I think I want to do trinkets then campfire so that we can see whether we get any important buff on a card that we then want to duplicate. Could also go to a relic shop instead, but we are gonna get relics after the elite fight, or one relic, I guess. Although I might want to save my money for the relic shop over here. Having a trinket shop, I mean. Having a trinket shop right before the boss fight maximizes the points you get from those trinkets. And so instead I can buy like 2 relics over here, get 1 more after the elite, and then fill up on trinkets. Yeah, I think I actually like that plan more. So we start with removal, with steal, a cheap minion, and some like a middle. Enemy doesn't do anything, so I'm just gonna end my turn. And then I'm gonna kill one, block the other. Very nice of him to play all of his minions in front, because that means I can do this and just steal his minions. Void Ancient is a bit unfortunate, although I can immediately play the Bartender and get some armor to protect the cells against the face damage. Can get some more armor. Can play Tsuki for some extra draw. And anything I want to do? I think I'm fine. Get some wild aces. We get our big damage dealer. So let's scale the aces. Get rid of the scalp recruit while nothing is on the board. So this turn we're doing 5. Next turn, if everything goes through, we are doing 7. That's not enough to kill. So, yeah. I think I'm fine where we're at right now. And he clears our board. That's actually pretty nice for us. Because I want to get Gale Wind Knight on the board. I'll just keep stealing the minions you give me. Next turn we'll be able to play Gale Wind Knight. We will overdraw by 1. I'm fine with that. Now I can just clear the way. Deal some extra damage with the Night Nibble. I can buff my Gale Knight. And then just let the overkill come. So we get either some more ransack cards, which I don't really like. We can get some more neutral cards. Not the strongest ones. I like the Salty Rogue. Seafaring Ape isn't doing that much. Like at that point, we're kind of just waiting to play Gale Wind Knight. Pirate Recruit is free, but it's also just a lowly 1/1. We don't have that much draw in the deck other than Yansutsuki. I do like this set. We got some single removal that scales up as we play, basically. And we also got a board clear. I think we were kind of missing a board clear, so I'll pick that up. And then we can, after I play a first spell, buff a minion. Flux doesn't matter, but +1/+1 is pretty nice. And we do have a couple of spells. Once per game after you play your last card on your turn, draw 4 cards. Could be a nice failsafe. We don't have that many cheap cards. Like, I think most of the time we're gonna have one of those in hand, and we're not gonna be able to use the Coral Ocarina. Training Chi, focus your hand twice. Currently only affects Kendo and Nomi, but I think even that is quite okay. Just immediately get the Relentless on the Kendo. I especially like that since we already got a buff on the Kendo. So, and I do want to preserve my rerolls for the Trinket Shop. So I think I'll just get the Banshee Boomstick, get the Training Chi. As for our dupe, I think I will dupe our Heart Mage, because it's our only source of health regen right now. We could also dupe the Wind Knight. But we have some other ways of doing big overkill damage as well, so I'm not worried about getting the overkill. This is a really nice hand. Play the smithy, play the bartender, get some big armor out of smithy and bartender. Have the hard mage as insurance in case we do lose health, and then have the salty rogue as well as a blocker and removal. You do need to be careful about triggering enemy death effects because they deal damage to us. Guess I can still regen that with the hard mage though. So I think I am fine with just destroying. Oh, actually we didn't get Grime Good because the enemy death effect didn't have any target. Like, it would need to give the +1/+1 to something to be considered a triggered effect. That's an interesting interaction I haven't seen before. So yeah, I'll keep that in mind. And now, however, the enemy does have a buff target, so we are not getting around remove, but I think what I'm gonna do is at least I'm gonna steal one of the skull recruits, so the skull recruit doesn't attack us and deal more damage. And then next turn we're gonna have 4, so I can play the smithy, I can play a spell, and then next turn I can bartender and get a bunch of armor. Like this. And then I will also block the enemy minion. So right now we are doing 8 damage. Next turn we would be doing 11. Which would be enough to kill. So I guess I just play as many minions as I can. I definitely do want to put down the Heart Mage for healing. So now it's 8 and 30 next turn. That would not be enough for overkill. We could do 8 and 16. Would also not be enough, unfortunately. Right? Into 8. If I play this, it's gonna be here. 8 plus 5. Yeah, 16. Off by 2. So the only way I'm gonna get overkill is if I Seafaring Ape. If I get the Seafaring Ape, I get 5 buffs, which is 2 more damage than the Contender would do. Or if I draw a Pyro Ball. So I think I'm not gonna play the Contender, instead I'm gonna draw 1 card. Enemy clears our board, which does give us the opportunity to stall the fight, because we can do this. Slide to the right. Ah, bummer. Didn't play it here. So suppose that's the end of the fight then, right? Anyway, I can stall. Actually, I can play this and slide this to the left. I want to keep this space open, so I'm able to play Wind Knight and give it double strike. Putting this at 1. So I will play Contender. And so next turn we can give one of those dual strike, deal 12, 14 damage, yeah. And then we do get the overkill. So now our bartender does die, but if we dual strike, it's gonna be 12. Which is enough. So we go out of the elite fight with both of our multipliers. I'm very happy with that. We get a reward with a trinket. So this would be another board clear, another bullet fist with more pyro spells, and deal 5 damage to enemy minions in Summoner Kingdom, any columns that enemies survive. So that's like effectively 7 damage to all enemy minions. I do like that quite a bit. Alternatively, we can get some meditation, which is redeem a focus minion, aka discover a focus minion and draw a card with another target for focus and another bullet fist. Or yeah, some card remove with some card generation as well. I think I like the extra removal though. I have seen that we are fighting the poison boss, which is one of my least favorite bosses. Very unlikely to get the flawless victory. Maybe we'll get the overkill. The first card you add to any deck each turn as a second copy. I haven't seen that card in a very long while, actually. I really like that though. But yeah, I don't think we have anything that adds card to the enemy deck. Yeah, not anymore. Like if you're playing bombs or the gate traps, I guess, or puff caps, just more of those. I think especially bombs benefit from that. I think they're the most impactful autocast card. After you play a pirate spell, give friendly inanimate minions +1 health. We don't have any inanimate minions. We do have a couple of pirate spells. But yeah, Heart Potion. That's start the game with +5 health. Really nice relic because the +5 health you gain from that potion does not go into consideration when deciding whether or not you perfected the fight. So you basically get a buffer of 5 health to work with. I'm gonna pick that up. That might enable us to get a perfect against the poison deck. So, Trinket Shop for some fresh fortifications. -2 mana. That's great. I think I'm not gonna actually put that on a fresh card. I think instead I'm gonna put this on the Sprout, not the Sprout Guardian, the Wind Knight. Make this a 6, so we can end the whole fight much earlier potentially. Instant draw. I think I'm gonna put that on the Smithy. And I'm gonna refresh the shop. Ooh, even more mana reduction. Yeah, so however, I think I'm actually gonna